could start. It's 4 minutes after 4.
If Mark's not gonna be down.
Oh, yeah, he's been here before. It's May 24th, and the Town of Canandaigua's Assessment Board of Review is now in order.
Should I go and see if there's anybody sitting out there?
Well, I thought it was his truck. Maybe I don't know what I think I know.
It was green.
Yeah, it's a green Ford. Yeah,
Out back here.
yeah, it's up there.
Well, we could start on the first one, and we'll just have to catch up.
Seize the day. Let's go.
Okay. So, do we have
Well, I have
paperwork?
4 Finger Lakes LLCs right on top here.
Okay,
So
well, let's
yes,
do those first then.
take one and pass them around.
We'll share
We
one.
start with number
Right.
5.
Only 4 of them?
Well, there should be 5 actually. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
And I do not believe they are going to be here.
Finger Lakes assets.
Right. Finger Lakes Assets LLC, right?
So Scott doesn't own them anymore.
That's correct.
What are you doing with all your spare time?
I work. I sell cars.
Good for you.
So if Scott has to recuse himself, do we still have a necessary quorum? We got,
Yeah.
we have
Yes,
to,
yes.
we have to be unanimous?
No, you can be 2 to 1.
Yeah,
You can, okay. Doesn't have to be 3 out of 5.
no,
Okay.
2 out of 4.
If it's like a 2 and 2, the law says that the assessor is considered correct.
Okay,
And so I have the,
I vaguely remember that. Okay.
Are we on tape the whole time here?
Yes.
good to go for the,
I know it. I'm gonna rule follow it. But I'll try.
Okay, so if you've got those in order, Paul, I guess we'll start with number 5. They're all, do you want to group them together? And
you can, yes. Okay, should I, want me to pass all 5 of them out at once? Or all 4 of them out at once?
Sure.
Okay, sure, all right. 3, 4, 5.
This is all number 2, or these are all mine?
They just, once again, just pass. Pass
Take
them.
one and pass them
Yeah,
on.
take one and pass. Okay, this is the 3rd of the group of
if you
4.
want to shoot it across, we could maybe catch it.
You give us the background on all this, though, right?
Did you leave one
If I'm
for
allowed
Mark?
to, yes.
Okay, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Is it 4 already?
You give me 3 of them. 2 here, 2 fourths.
Here he is.
Apologize for being late.
Really, Mark?
What are you doing? Busy, it's farming.
And one of those days.
Yep. Sit over there, or you can sit here. We got good farming weather anyway.
Okay.
This is gonna be confusing.
Yeah, so
Which
you
one?
need to, maybe we could number them. Paul,
Okay,
You want
Why
to
don't-
number them as they are on on the
Yes,
list.
yes.
Like number 5 is 2075 Route 332.
And
Number 6.
Wait.
So number 5 is the fourth one we got, third one. we got.
okay. So what's number 5 again?
2075.
075, so that's gonna be number.
The first one we look at is gonna be 2075.
Right.
Okay,
Okay, so that's number 1.
The next one, Route 332. Last digits of the zoning district is, or zoning tax map 47112
where's that?
on the, towards the
Right
middle.
here.
Number 5.
This one's 112. Okay,
So this is number 2, right?
The third one is County Road 28. The last of the tax map is 51.111.
So that's number 3.
We don't have that one yet.
I didn't give you one.
No, we got 4 of them.
We got that one, I think.
Yeah, I got 2.
County Road 28,
I
it's
got
51.111.
No,
No,
Oh,
oh, yes, County Road 28 is 51.111.
I got
it's
2 of
vacant
those.
land. We don't
Correct.
have that one.
who needs one of number 3?
We need number 7 on our agenda.
51111.
47111.
This is,
8110. 5111.
okay,
5111.
All right, let's
That's
go
the
on.
one, 5111.
I don't have copies.
All right, let's go on to number 8. Number 8 is 8.110, the dealership.
51,
That's the second one we got. This is
111, that's number 7, right?
No, number 8. We don't have number 7. Maybe you do.
So
Yeah,
the first one is, we're gonna do is 2075 State Route 332. Everybody have that one?
Yep.
And that's 47 dash.
47111.
Gotcha.
The second
okay,
one,
wait a minute. 47,111,
that's the first one.
47. Okay, that's number 1.
Okay, the second one is 000 State Route 332. The last of the tax map is 47.112.
Okay, that's number 2.
That's number 2. We're gonna do,
Number 3,
and number 3 is County Road 28. The last of the tax map is 51.111.
Okay.
okay,
Right.
5, I got 2 of those.
Oh, excuse me, I have it.
You don't have one? I have 2 with that number. I got a shot
And
at
then
them.
the fourth one is 2591 State Route 332, the auto dealership. Last of the tax map is 8.110.
That's number 4.
8.10.
5, 6, 7, 8, 4 of them.
So are we calling these 1, 2, and 3, or are we calling them 5, 6, 7,
We're
8?
going by these numbers, 5. Well, I don't know that answer, I guess.
Okay,
We're
Well,
identifying.
we're going to review number 5 as number 1 and then go in that order.
And that's, yes, number 5
You see,
is number 1.
it's a
in the
good thing this
sequence.
group only has 8 things to look at. This is typical.
And I only have 3.
okay, wait a minute. I have an extra one. here.
Which one are you missing?
Well, it looks like I've got 8 and 5, and then I've got one, the
Here, this is number 1.
tax map number starts 70.16-4
That's number 1.
-51-111. So this is number 1.
That's 3. Is that,
2.
okay, I will go over it one more time. Number 1, the tax map number is the last of the tax map 47.111.
Right, that's number 1.
Number 2, tax map 47112.
Number 2.
Number 3, tax map 51111.
Number 3.
Number 4, tax map 8110.
Gotcha.
Right.
Everybody got them?
Yep, that's how we're gonna number it, 1 through 4.
Right.
Forget about the 5, 6,
Correct.
7, 8.
I just listed them as we received them, so.
Okay. I'm good. Now you can look at that.
Yeah, right. Push that one underneath there. Great.
So number one.
We did call the meeting to order, Mark, so we're all set. Oh, what do you need to tell us about these?
What do
Or
I
would
need
you
to tell
like
you?
to?
I
You know more.
assume that I'm not supposed to comment.
Right.
I'm the one who's not supposed to comment.
Yeah,
I'm supposed
well,
to
he
just-
owned the property,
Let's-
but you
Oh,
don't,
you're
Let's hear the
recusing
story.
yourself. Okay.
The
but
quick-
he
the
doesn't
quick
own
thing
it
I-
anymore. So why can't he? He sold it.
Maybe because I am employed by the same people that own it.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
that's probably enough.
Yeah.
that
Okay,
you'd be
Can
uncomfortable.
he give us some information, description?
I would think so.
I
I
have
mean,
the-
if you-
I have the files here if you want to look at the files.
You could recuse
Well-
yourself and be a claimant.
So here's what surprises me is that there's no evidence provided to support the claim that they're worth less than they're on the roll for. And I think in most cases, they're on the roll for less than they were paid for.
Says the purchase price of this property is $150,000, is that right?
Hmm?
There's an asterisk there, but I don't know what that means.
So we paid 150, and what's he asking? 98? Oh, 70.
Currently
On
the
page
assessment
one.
roll for 98.
Right,
He's asking for 70.
70, yeah.
And Paul, can we question you? What was the purchase price of this particular lot
The purchase price.
and
of
what
that-
date?
It's on the back of your first page.
July, your purchase price is 150,000 in July of 2020.
So,
Just turn the page over, Tom.
Right there,
On the back of the first
right
page.
there.
Oh, okay, I got you. Okay,
So it's 2020, it was.
Mhm.
so essentially the applicant is saying they overpaid for it.
But without any evidence.
Yeah,
Give us a little description. This is a empty lot that
This is a mostly empty lot, but not, it's wooded. This is a corner of Yerkes 332. It goes all the way to the panel for
This is how many acres?
down the dip.
15.1.
Ooh, 15.
Mhm.
Oh, that's right, it was subdivided at one point. So this is the farmable portion up on top. So there must be another one for that same.
So they paid $10,000 an acre.
They paid 150 for the entire parcel. And the entire parcel is more than that. It's 50 or I think 60 acres roughly.
Well, the next one, number two, is right next to it, so that's probably the other part.
Yeah. This piece is the portion on 332 from the little used car lot back to Yerkes Road and roughly halfway towards Battlefield. It's the most. It's
Zone commercial.
number one, not number two. You're talking about.
It is, because because the property stops roughly where the commercial zone stops. Each side of 332 has a certain depth off of it that is commercial.
So he split the property and he's asking to get back to his 150 with the first two properties. He thinks one's worth 70, one's worth 80.
Oh,
He
so
didn't
he's-
sell the other property, he just subdivided.
Mhm. Well, it was subdivided before he bought it. Because originally that's where I was gonna build the store.
Okay.
so he's-
So we're looking at
Exactly.
$150,000 property in 2020. It's now two properties. that the town has on the rolls at 200,000. And he wants to go back to 100. He wants to be at his purchase price. Is that?
Looks, it looks that way.
Yeah,
And he purchased it in 2020.
this hasn't been changed any since 2020.
No. Next year it will be.
Well,
Revale.
and as Scott mentioned, there's no documentation that tells us why we should consider it worth less.
Right,
It's on a commercial corridor. It's going to be more valuable with the zoning of the uptown there. Presumably be more people, so there'll be more traffic, more valuable as a commercial property.
Interestingly enough, this assessment's been the same since at least 2019, so he bought it under the market essentially. Yeah. So he knew what they knew what, I say they knew what was assessed at 90, one parcel was at 98,000 in 2019 and the other one was at what, 112. But without further information, I'm inclined to just say that it's okay the way it is. One and two.
I agree.
right.
If you want us to do more work than that, we will, but I
No,
don't see the need.
no, I don't see.
Do we take a vote or?
Up to you folks.
Okay, all in favor of having it say the same?
Those two,
For those two, yep. Yes.
yes.
Phyllis, are we gonna use your form for the final, because the entire board bar has got to sign one form. And then you also have to sign this one. Where
Okay,
they're all listed. So it's up to you. I don't care which.
yeah, I saw, right,
You can all sign that one if you'd like.
that's what we've done before.
Okay, fine.
Be great. Number one, number two, we agree with the assessment.
Right. Mhm. Doing number 3 now.
Do we want to pass this around to Phyllis because she has to fill in the, what your decision was on the appropriate line?
Just-
Hi, Mark.
John, how are you? I'm good. How are you?
All right.
John.
I don't know if they're in the same order as.
Okay, yeah, I'll
Yeah,
figure that
just
out.
look for the tax map number.
So the land value is gonna stay the same and the gross is gonna stay the same. Okay, I'll figure out which is which. Okay. And what about 3 and 4? Same problem? No change?
Three is a bare piece of land that is. What is that? I can't remember the name of that road. It's a relatively new road, but it's behind Mumrose, it's behind the car wash, it's behind. Hep.
Oh, right there. Yeah.
And it's undeveloped. There's frontage on that relatively new road, right? Trying to blank on the name, but is it Cowan Drive? I think it's Cowan Drive. The rest of it is the existing dealership property.
And how many acres?
How many acres it is?
Oh, I'm sorry. 46.4.
Well, this is,
Well, that's including the
this is,
dealership property.
this is contiguous to your, with the car lot.
On the back
By
side.
this much, but yeah.
This parcel is 46.4, or including the current lot is 46.4.
No, it's just this,
Just
this
this lot.
51111 only.
Oh, wait a minute. I was looking at 40.
Oh, you're looking at-
47.112.
What was it? 1 and 2 together were how many?
We're
acres?
done with those.
Would you say 60 acres?
We're on to 5111, County Road 28.
There's 63 in that piece, 5 on the right.
Okay, so hold on a minute.
Oh, you're talking about up on your piece road.
I
Yeah,
need
your
to.
piece,
Yeah.
yeah, that piece was.
Yeah, they decided to
63.
do both at once.
50 acres.
Okay, so now we're on 51111.
Right,
Yes,
That acreage is 3.7.
The two pieces, the one piece that got split into two, how big was that?
Total was.
It was like 63 acres, because it went way down in the, it went way down in the hollow down there by the furnace doctor guy, and it come up to Pritchard's field on the other side. The hay lot of Pritchard's there, come right up to that.
Okay.
If I remember right, for 63 in there.
we're on to the third one, County Road 28.
Yep.
That's the one that's 3.7 acres, Paul just told us.
Right.
So what was the 46.4 acres, number 2?
The second one that I can hear you vote on.
We voted on one.
Yeah, they voted together.
This is structured roughly the same way. It shows the 715 that they paid for.
So this was split off and the other one in the same fashion as the first. So 3 and 4 are similar to 1 and 2 in the way he's calculating it.
Yes.
So he's okay. He's doing the same thing.
But it's really not, because one's vacant and one has
He-
car lot.
He's trying to get to a 715 purchase price. In the two parcels together.
So number, you're saying number 3 and 4 is
3 and 4,
Combining.
3 and 4 were included in the purchase price information.
was a 715.
For 715, they bought 3 and 4 together. At the time. Do a lot of paperwork for a car dealer.
Well, I think
It's been there since 67.
we need to, without a whole lot of information, I think we need to leave the value as it is.
Correct.
I think as a board, we're not allowed to make any sort of suggestion or change if there's no evidence presented
Right.
to suggest that the assessor is not right.
Right, absolutely.
At the time of purchase, the dealership was assessed at $925,000. And the land parcel was at $57,000. The dealership was lowered in 21 by 117,000.
Before it was purchased?
No, after it was purchased, it was lowered to 808. We must have lowered it, or you must have, your predecessor
My
must have lowered
predecessor.
it. So, you know, that gives us a $865,000 value today.
So there must have been some type of a negotiation back then.
Well,
between-
they lowered the price to reflective of the sale price, so they
Yeah.
lowered the assessment reflective of the sales price.
Because I don't remember doing, it would have been last year. I don't remember doing it last year, maybe. Most of it pan.
Well, it got lowered anyways.
They're running next year.
Yeah.
We don't change for 3 or 4. Do we all agree?
I'd leave it alone.
Yeah, I don't see any reason to diminish it. I mean, this
I
is
don't know what it's worth, but there's nothing here.
commercial,
Right.
it's commercial property and it's certainly worth more than 15 grand an acre. They're getting a deal, in my opinion.
Yeah, I concur. I don't see how I can determine what it's worth.
There's
I
no,
can't-
there's no evidence of the
Can't change, I
contrary.
can't change. I mean, it may or may not be a good place to have a car dealership, but I'm not gonna change it.
It's
I'm not gonna
still-
move to change it.
It might be more valuable as a hotel or a car wash, who the hell knows, but it's proof is in the pudding, in what they paid for it.
I mean, I understand their argument. He's saying, well, this is what I paid for it.
And that argument's been used before too. This is what it was worth in the open market. This is what we paid for it. I mean, that's been an argument before,
Well, if they don't need to do this, they can go do something
but they're
at
not
another
here,
level.
but they're not here, so.
Well, it might show a level of interest.
Which is probably the point.
I would, my only suggestion is, especially with a revale coming, is that the appraisers they're probably gonna have a workout, I mean, to be, you know, on the same playing field, you're gonna have to hire appraisers to do a lot of that commercial stuff and reappraise it going forward. Because it's changed now too, because of COVID. COVID's changed a lot of it. So where you would have had an argument for a lot of commercial property on COVID, that's in the past now, so. Because didn't we lower a few because of COVID that was being. I guess where I'm going with this is they really need to get an appraisal done on what it's really worth. In my mind,
They have to present some sort of.
they'd have to have an appraisal by someone, a legitimate appraisal.
Looking ahead, but as Mark said, is the
What's
town
that?
going to hire commercial appraisers? Or is
It's
it gonna
still,
be,
it's still under discussion.
it's gonna be a nightmare for you?
Because on the revale part, does the commercial ground up, land up for revale next year too? Everything, 100%. Ouch.
We're only at 86 right now, 86% equalization rate, so we gotta make that up somehow. If you know what I mean?
Don't make it up on me.
And that's gotta be low.
It is low, it's one of the
My
lowest
property
ones in the
is too
state.
low. You gotta take my buildings down if you're gonna do something with that. All right,
Did we have a vote?
so I'll propose that we leave both number 3 and 4 where they are.
Yep. I do
Because
too.
there's no evidence.
Agree.
presented.
And we all agree. Right.
86%. How'd we get that low?
We
Seriously,
haven't because the market's out of this crazy world and we haven't done a revale
We could
since
just get
18.
rates high enough, fast enough. We might not have to do it another year.
Like a rip back.
So what do we go back to number 1? Salon Bennett.
when are they coming in?
I have no idea.
We have no idea.
Nobody's made any appointments? No.
No.
Bless you.
So we could just do these.
Right.
We still have to wait till 8 o'clock though, is that right?
Correct.
How are we doing, Mr. Bennett, next? I believe that's what Phyllis said.
Can they show up?
I don't know the answer to that.
Like if we've already done them, can they show up at 7:30 and we have to redo it?
Wouldn't that be a pain? We've already made a decision.
I mean, I'm not trying to, not, I'm all for getting them done. I just.
I don't know. I don't know the answer.
Nobody made an appointment.
No.
No.
Mr. Bennett said he was going to be here. He was told to be here between, maybe we shouldn't do it right away,
Okay.
because he might show up.
So you'd have to just plain give him the benefit of the doubt. for now, because we may have something.
Wait, see what he has.
Gold investments. We do those shopping centers every year. They come back every year. Do they ever win?
Mine,
No?
my notes, and that's, number 2.
Yep.
That's,
Goal investments.
that's, the shopping center there.
That's Big Lots.
Big Lots. And my notes from last year,
You take notes?
yeah,
That's why she's in charge.
She's.
my notes say They
We asked
never
for
came
something we
in.
didn't get.
they never provided any information. We gave them the opportunity. We emailed them, got no response. So we've never.
Did you get anything?
For goal investments,
Yeah,
we have a 524, but the problem that I'm gonna bring to your attention right now is that the attorney filled out the form incorrectly. She has the incorrect
Tax map.
tax map on number on it. And how, in my recommendation to you folks was that they should be here to correct it and initial it,
right,
and they are not here. So,
okay, that's,
pardon me,
So we punt.
that's goal investments. And as I indicated, the stipulation, I'm sorry, the 524, which is, I believe, attached on the bottom there, shows an incorrect SBL number.
So we're calling this one number 5 bills.
right,
Say that,
no, that's.
say that lingo again, the 524 form, is that
The
what?
the 524 form is the grievance form.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, RP 524, if you want the entire
Okay.
title. And
Grievance
the
form.
SBL section block and lot number was filled in incorrectly on there.
Okay, has anybody done
That's
any
number 8.
capitalized value on this? Do we know what the rent is, or
No,
so they don't have any documentation?
no, they provided
Same
nothing.
problem.
Why are we here?
Yeah, right.
Right.
That's ridiculous.
Well, I think people think, okay, here it is. You know, what are you gonna
You gotta
do?
s- give
Let's
us
take a look
something
at
to
it
chew at.
just for the fun of it.
And then they pay good money and go to an attorney, and the attorney says, well, what'd you provide?
Property owner's estimate of market value, 1.268 million. Assessed value, 2.875.
Well, I'd love to know where they came up with a number.
Go big or go home.
Certainly not
Financials,
trying very hard.
no occupancy information.
That's,
What are we supposed to do?
well, again, that's probably a parcel that somebody could do the numbers on and say, we've got
And get lower.
X number of square feet or frontage feet, and it's Y% occupied, and the capitalized value is Z, and we could talk about it. But we got nothing to talk about.
Mhm.
Incomplete, five,
These
whatever
guys
it's
don't
called.
typically go on and go in front of a judge or something.
For that one, for the commercial ones, they could go to, they could do Article 7 if they wanted to, but they have to.
I think they did last year.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
all that is right there.
It's all here.
And unsuccessfully, huh? Because they haven't been changed in the history that shows here.
Right.
And I'm going to get my vote to change this.
Do you have any idea what percentage of occupancy they have? or
None, I have no idea.
And I bet you that it should be lower.
How would we know?
Just right, but I mean,
Yeah, it's a plaza that always seems to be dead.
I'm assuming
They've got
somebody,
way too much parking.
I'm assuming somebody should be on top of it if I was part of the owner group or whatever. But
isn't that a plaza that's really two lots? There's
Yeah, the
two-
other one's Raymore Flanagan.
There's two parts.
Big lots and then the Raymore Flanagan.
It appears to be one building, but it's two lots.
So really, this is the right.
Big lot.
Big lots side of it.
Mhm. Right up to Raymore
Probably is too
Flanagan.
high. But we can't change it without the evidence.
No change?
No
gentlemen?
Change.
No change.
No change.
Keep in mind, if the attorney shows up before 8 o'clock.
You'll have to hear it, or we'll have to hear it.
Yeah.
So you send it out for dinner or what?
Yeah, I have dinner already in the fridge.
Oh, okay.
I got substance salad. and
Well,
fruit
you're
salad.
fitting right in, Tom. You're getting right down to the nitty gritty. We're only 20 minutes in.
This is kind of disappointing. There's no.
Oh, trust me, you'll make up for it next year.
Yeah,
I'll be here for a week.
That's what I said. We'll probably have to have 3 meetings.
that's why John's bailing out.
Here. Are you really, John?
I am.
Yeah, you other guys, you can't. I got your dates down here.
Do you really?
I do.
When can I go?
I came before you, so you have to wait till
2020.
after me.
2024.
2024. Really?
And Scott.
Is that before grievance day?
2022, but not till
I'm
September.
gonna try sitting on the other side of the table next year and see how that goes. I'll come down and see you. How's that sound?
I'm gonna miss you, John, because you have a lot of
We're good.
knowledge,
For an old guy.
Yeah, for an old guy.
Yeah.
but you're not, you're here until September 30th.
Okay.
In case we have to meet again
Okay.
with all these people that came in.
The plan was to do a revale this year, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah, and then Pam left in January, so.
and
I thought that would be a better way to get out, is to help you slog through that.
You could come back
We
for
had,
that.
we had some awful ones, didn't we? I don't mean to discourage.
Stalking.
We were going.
Oh, what was his name?
Paul Rack.
Paul Rick. Oh, yeah, that's right.
Came in every
Don't forget
year.
we're recording.
Why do I know that name?
It was still recording.
Yes, you want me to pause it?
Well, he wasn't awful, but he was just a regular. We had a lot of regulars.
Okay.
Is there a bowl?
Yeah, yeah.
Refresh my memory, which,
This
plaza
is
is this?
Roseland Plaza,
Oh.
where TJ Maxx is
Yeah.
and
Where Penny's used to
Penny's
be.
used to be.
Oh,
I don't get down there much. What is that building there now?
Denny's?
Yeah.
Penny's is Ollie's.
Got an Ollie's there now?
There's gonna be a Five Below soon.
What's a 5 below?
No, Ollie's
It's
is a
like a $1 store, but everything's under 5.
bargain basement stuff.
Ollie's like they buy big lots of stuff. It's
Wasn't there a
cheap
kid's toy store in there way back years
Years
ago?
ago,
Yeah.
but the furniture store is out, not there anymore. Now it's gonna be a Five Below, which is like a knick-knacky.
All these plazas gotta be tough business right now.
The TJ Maxx is still there.
That's what the car dealers are.
JC Penney's,
Yeah.
or what's the sewing store?
Been done before.
Oh, yeah.
Last time. it
Well, that's where this
was-
extra
That's
school.
still there, whatever it is. I can't think of
Schools.
it.
Can't either. I used to shop there a lot when I was.
I'm serious.
Community
Places.
Hmm.
For the hospital.
I know, I can't
Shall we make a copy of the red rules that were attached to the 524? You know? Okay,
No, all the, are they all, no, must be not,
must not be there.
because you should just do the 524 and.
No way. There's no way there's enough of that business down there to justify $7 million.
If the attorney who filled that out included a rent roll, if she'd like to pass it around, or I could go make a copy of it like for everyone.
Well, it's on the.
Here, at least they've
Is it
given us,
attached?
Oh, it is
Oh, it's attached, okay, good, all right, good.
they've given us the square footage and the percentage of vacancy. Did he give you any dollar amount of rents compared with the
Just what's on the.
It's coming down.
later? Okay,
It ranges a lot in square foot based on, I assume, how big the proper square footage is.
okay.
Like TJ Maxx is gonna be one of the bigger stores.
It's almost 20% vacant.
They're at 650.
What's vacant?
Joanne's.
Joanne's, that's it.
Joanne's right here.
Yeah,
Joanne.
almost 20% vacant.
I think it's on the back of
We
your.
got it. We got
I think
it.
it's on the back of it.
Mhm.
Is the 20% vacancy any different than it was in 2018?
I don't know.
You don't have that in the folder?
The only way we would have that is if they had grieved in 18. We have seen them before.
Yeah.
Is the bank building a separate parcel?
Lions Bank,
No, no, oh.
Yeah, that's a.
that's a separate parcel.
Yeah.
Yeah, on the corner.
Mhm.
It is. It's a separate one. That's a separate lot.
Okay, so they don't have that.
Right.
They haven't included the rent for the chicken barbecues.
Somebody. Can you check? Thought I heard somebody know.
So we should work on this one a little bit, see how they restrike and stuff.
Was there any compensation? Oh, gentleman's right there. She's coming.
You can't get in
She's
the door.
coming.
She's coming,
The door was
Walk around.
supposed to be left open.
she's coming.
That's Larry Burgess.
Oh, okay. Who is it?
He's the coffee guy, right? Finger Lakes Coffee Roasters.
Oh, right there in the little hut.
Well, no,
No,
I don't think the one that's on
on
20 Road
10.
10, no.
Not
that's-
him.
That's another wacko. Larry's got a nice business.
Okay.
Is he listed on this list?
Yes.
Yeah, he's got
Lawrence,
a piece of vacant land.
what's his name? Lawrence Burgess?
Yeah.
Sorry about that. The door was locked.
Oh, that's all right.
Makes you feel welcome, huh?
I
Let's
know.
see.
Sit
Figure
down.
someone was here, saw some cars.
I'll put this one aside for now.
Yeah.
Just state your name, please, and then I'll swear you in.
Larry Burgess,
Okay, and, all right, is he going to speak with you?
we're separate.
Oh, you're separate?
Yeah.
Oh,
And Mr. Bennett,
I am.
already.
oh, okay.
All right,
Mr.
let's get your file before we get started.
Mr. Woods' file, and this is Mr. Brown's file.
Yeah,
You want Mr. Woods' file?
Yes.
Well, let's take a look. Yep.
I'll lock the door. Got it, it locked the door.
I'm gonna take one of these. Yeah, and those around.
You can't, yeah, sure.
let me swear you in while we're
Okay.
passing things around. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the information you're about to give will be given accurately and truthfully to the best of your ability
You
to
don't need
do
to
so?
tell page.
Yes.
turn this into accurate.
Yes, I did.
Okay, this is Mr. Burgess, and we're passing around your file. And what can you tell us?
I have a piece of land down there off of Seneca Point. Bought it quite a while ago. And when I bought it, it had some views of the lake. And I bought it back in 2003. So it's been
I don't know. why we-
now it's about 20 years and actually the past like 10 or 12 years, it's just, there's no lake view there. The trees have grown up on my neighbor's property looking towards the east. And so we sold our home down there and I redid some lines and stuff. And the property that's there now, that they sent me the new number on, I feel it shouldn't have a Lakeview designation on it because there's no Lakeview on it. And it's being assessed at a Lakeview rate for like 12 acres I have there. So, yeah, I was just asking if folks could take a look at that. I put together some comps and usually, for 10, 11, 12 acres, if you look at my chart there, I figured it about $2,600 an acre and for a lot with, no lake view. And so that comes out to about 31.8. So that's what I put down because I feel it should be fairly assessed at.
Is it farmable?
It's like half woods and half, there's probably 5 acres up top that you can put something on.
It's the property that's just west of JR's property. JR Miller.
Yeah, JR borders
Yeah.
vacant land. Well, I sold the home.
You got a creek to the south of your land.
Yeah, there's like a swamp part.
Yeah.
Part of the land's a little swampy.
Where's the road access or to the?
Seneca
Old-
Point.
Old Westlake Road? Oh, it's and
Seneca
Seneca
Point,
Point.
yeah.
Okay, but it's not on the old Westlake Road.
No, not at all.
Childhood.
What I did is I lived down there and I had the home next to JR's to the west. And we sold that home. And when I sold that home, I took part of the parcel. I own 3 parcels there and I combined 3 into 2 to make the home more valuable or more sellable, I thought, in a lot, the 3-acre lot. Which it did. It sold, double the assessed value. And but I wanted to keep this one piece of land. We do a little bit of hunting on there. And
I think your son got a real nice buck up there a few years ago.
oh, we did, yeah.
I
Yeah.
live just east of you.
Yeah. Yeah, when we bought it, I bought it because it had the lake views and stuff and it was adjacent to my property and bought it from the McCabe's there and then yeah, it's just grown in. And actually the trees that have really grown in are down on, JR's property because the land kind of goes down and then up again. So there's really nothing I can do to ever get any type of lake view back.
Did you have any comps on Seneca Point Road that are similar size and shape? All your comps are Emerson Road, Michigan Road, Whistler Road.
Yeah, there really isn't, there aren't any, I didn't see any that, vacant land up there.
We haven't updated on yet, so I'm just gonna show the 2 first.
JR cut some trees. Didn't help you
No, it's actually, it might even be on the next parcel down.
there. It is.
It's that
It's
big,
on the Black Point property.
yeah, it's that big pine forest, I think, off to the,
So that was the original parcel that was purchased in 2003, or that's the one that's left?
That's, Encore is not updated for this other portion. That was divided, that was subdivided, right? That
Yeah.
parcel right there.
that's the original one.
Yeah, it's not updated here.
I
on
can
Encore.
go up there and show you
Yeah,
what
please
I
do.
did.
I believe the split is in the file there, Tom. The map showing the split is in the file. No, in the actual file.
The manila,
Manila.
not the envelope, not the envelope, but the folder, the folder.
In that.
So I own this parcel, and that parcel. Those 3 parcels. What I did, the homes here, which we lived in 20 years or so. In the process of selling it. So I also own this parcel and there really wasn't any value to me to, put on or sell it except for put a home. It's just, we used it more as a, just another flat area and it was really close to my other neighbor there. So what I did is I just took some of this, I made that a nice 3-acre flat piece of land up there with a home, like just a nice area. And made it a little wider, because the barn was kind of close to the property line too. And I just, so basically I just took 2 acres like here and here. And that kind of adds on to that. And that's what I'm left with this. What's going on here, you can see there is some little open area there. You could farm a little bit of something there if you wanted to. And then it's all trees and it goes down into the swampy area. It's pretty much a swamp down in there.
So the yellow boundaries of what you purchased 20 years ago, and you
That's
made it,
correct.
you changed the lot line, so it's a little bit bigger now than it was at the
Yeah,
time you purchased
yeah.
it.
But I mean, I feel like I didn't really add much value to this parcel.
Right.
Because the land is just down, it's way down in there, there's no access to, access or anything to it.
What's
But
the
the
total?
lack of Lakeview is from like up on the road.
Yeah, I mean, if you were gonna, when I bought it originally, I thought, I kind of bought it. I mean, I was a lot younger then, you could see the lake. And I thought, actually saw it, put a couple. But there's no lake view anymore. I did,
What's the frontage on the Seneca Point Road?
the amount of feet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I should know that, but I'm not certain.
I guess what I'm getting at is that, I got it, it's 544 feet. Michelle, what's
But
the lakefront, or I'm saying the road frontage needed if we're to subdivide it, I guess is what I'm getting at.
probably 225. And probably AR2.
No, it's our R3.
It's R3,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's our free, that.
so it's probably 225.
Potentially, you could probably get away with 2 lots, but you'd need a
Yeah, it would
zoning
be tight.
variance. It's a desirable location, but I'm trying to think, do you know, there's what Caitlin Schwartz, what's that?
Irish
little tri-
settlement.
What's that triangle
Are you
assessed
gonna leave
there?
it or do you want to stay?
That would be a comparable.
Yeah.
Right here?
Right there.
That parcel. Oh, it's a flag lot.
Yeah, it's all the Irish settlement, all these are on the same,
Yeah, they're on the same drive.
they're all on the same drive.
How about
more forms to fill out here.
What's that?
just
lot?
to the left? Down where the yellow is.
Right here?
Yeah, that one there. What's that one?
Can you-
That's got a
Oh, you
house.
guys are.
Well, what's the land assessed for on that one? You get an idea of what next door is. Land.
7.
He's got a lake view. He shoots right from his barn. You can see the lake here.
You can see the lake.
Yeah.
So just question, how much land is with that
12 acres.
on the blue area there?
Oh,
And I can't read it from here.
It's
It's
5.
5 acres.
Almost five, yeah.
The 2 lots that are to the east, I don't think they
Are
have,
you talking about over here?
those 2, I don't think they have lake views because the woods are in front
I
of them.
don't know.
well, he does have a lake view, I'm pretty sure. I don't.
This is Schwartz right here. That one is, I can't
Lake
remember. his
Woods,
name.
I think.
Yeah,
Pretty sure he built the home so he could see down the lake. These, I guess, these 2 are not, lake views at all. I'm not sure what they got those assessed at. Like 20,000, And then there's another one on the road there, I think.
this one?
Yeah.
That's 1.6 acres.
I can't read it. What did you say?
It's 1.6 acres and it's 20, assessed for 23.9. Or 20, yeah, 23.9.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what the formulas are. I just think that I had to look around. with road frontage and stuff.
What is the Caitlin Schwartz parcel assessed at? That doesn't have a view and it doesn't have
Doesn't have.
a building. on it.
Pappas.
Yeah, I don't think that's Schwartz, that's Andy.
Okay.
Office.
It's,
There used to be Schwartz or,
no, it's
Schwartz
next
is
to
right.
Andy.
Schwartz is right here, this blue.
yeah, that's this little one here.
They
What's
don't have a
that?
house on it yet.
What's it assessed?
50,000,
How much?
50.
50?
It's 3 acres.
Yeah, and that's a lot that's got more difficult access and no view.
It's assessed higher.
Yeah.
That's higher than the 65. Or the 318.
It's higher than 3.
Because he's assessed at 65.7.
I guess my point, if you take the lake view off it, then it seems like it should come down. Right now, I think when you have a lot, don't you have like the letter next to it that it's a lake view or in the, like when you figure things out?
It is in our system. I
Yeah.
believe, too. I guess you'd have to go there to really know. We're gonna,
Yeah, I've gone there and I flew my son's drone to see if I get one from like a second story home or something, and there was still nothing, from my house. Because, if I did ever sell it, I would show that to the
Do you
customer.
have any other questions, Mr. Burgess?
I'm good.
Well, thank you for coming in. We'll be sending you a letter of our decision.
I did send a note. I have a different mailing address.
Okay.
I don't know if it ever got recorded. It's 4963.
We got it.
Water's Edge.
Yeah. Okay, thanks a lot.
Thank you for coming in.
We're calling, we're calling.
Back here's or that's Paul's.
That was, I gave it.
Yeah.
Thanks.
And then
Thanks for coming in.
Okay, thank you.
Here's your name, sir?
Solon Bennett.
Okay. What would you like to? Tell us,
Just to start off, I'm fairly new to Canandaigua, but when I first moved here, I wasn't even alerted about the rise last year because the property was still on a certificate of occupancy, so they alerted the builder instead. So I didn't even get the bill
Oh,
or know about the bill until my mortgage company paid it off. And that's when I started this whole process about what was going on. And then moving forward, the house actually just got signed off of the certificate of occupancy about a month and a half ago, while I'm still having water issues and flooding in my backyard. So there's quite a
there's a
bit.
drainage swale.
Yes, so there's quite a bit of stuff that still needs to be completed about this house. But with all of that put together, just looking at the neighbors in that cul-de-sac, just by last year's, I was rated higher than all of them almost. And I couldn't understand it when some of them had 2-story houses. My next door neighbor was the exact same build, exact same year, exact same property line, less than mine. So a little confused about how the process works as far as how that was determined last year and then how we move forward, because right now I can only tell what you sent me updated, which was like 356 for this year.
Did you purchase the property for 356,000?
I did, yes, in 2021, correct.
Okay, run it by me one more time. You purchased the property when?
Last year in March,
2021. And what did you pay for it?
356.
356.
Didn't have a CFO till April. So it couldn't have been 46.
And it's assessed for what now?
356.
356.
It's assessed for 356, but then going back to just the surrounding neighborhood of other houses,
Which house number specifically is the one that's identical to yours?
3726.
3726. Did you bring any information on that property?
I did.
3736 or 26?
That would be 3726. That would be Mr. Stephen.
Let's see that one on there.
Is that, am I reading it wrong? So it's the one above the yellow.
One above you, okay.
Is that not 3726?
3736.
Okay, I couldn't read it,
Did you
sorry.
bring some information on that property?
I did.
Okay.
There you go. Pass that down again.
You said that was the same house or the same builder,
Same builder,
same lot?
same lot,
Same
almost,
square footage?
almost about the same square footage. Yes, sir.
And what did he pay for it?
Oh,
You don't know.
yeah, I'm not too sure. But I just know that both of the houses were completed.
Should be on there.
When I say completed, that's how they took it, as the build was complete
He bought the land first, the neighbor did.
at the
He
same
built the
time.
house.
So my house was a spec home. So it was technically completed before I purchased it, or was thought to be completed before I purchased it. So they were actually using it as a show model home for a while. So I want to say that when they completed my house, they completed his house as well, around about the same time.
So your neighbor's at 326. Right?
Correct.
So how do you get to your requested value of 250?
I did that just because I don't know what the process is about, where you guys are going, because the numbers, again, the numbers again that you
get
guys.
50,000 off for being honest in this room.
Absolutely. Well, and again, I did my research and I contacted the New York State Tax Department to figure out what this assessment process was. And so I kind of educated myself. For one, you don't want to go any higher than you don't think it is. So go as low as you can and then go up. But just to kind of read them off from the last year's roll call, I was put at 366,400. My neighbor at 337,36, he was put at 310,300. Okay, so there's about your 40,000, 50,000 right there. Across the street, neighbor's house is a 2-story house, double the square footage, 355, still less than mine. Dot 337,35, same two-story house, 340.
So you did some homework and you're more familiar with your neighborhood than I am.
Absolutely.
What's the average of that block right there?
Average.
Or give us all the information that you brought right there and sum it up.
Sum it up.
Yeah.
I was rated the highest out of the entire block,
Okay.
and I've got less square footage and less property.
Okay.
But you had a model home that they were trying to sell to the rest of the people. So
Exactly.
you've got some nice features probably. even though it
So
sounds like
my
they're
model
down.
home was a model home that only had like 2 extra features, and that was a piece that is like a, I don't know what they call it. It's just an extra piece on top of the roof.
Something architecture.
It's something architecture, but that's about it. Everything else you'd have to upgrade. So I got the basics. They showed the home as the basics, and then if you wanted to get the upgrades, you get the upgrades.
Would you sell it to me for 356?
I wouldn't sell it to anybody because I'm never going to sell that house again. I'm just being honest.
That's a good answer. You know, it's obviously
yeah.
a lovely home and a lovely community.
It is, but at the same time, I came in on 2020's price, right? Because the house wasn't even listed. I came and talked to the real estate agent and the builder, and I made an offer when it was off the market.
So what were they asking for it back then? If you made an offer?
Yeah, so I was actually getting back then, it was, I do believe, 345. Of course, I paid 356 for it, but whenever they took it off the market again, that's when I stepped in, so it wasn't listed.
Well, you paid more than what they were asking for it?
So when I came in, yes,
You paid,
yeah,
you paid more than what they were asking for it. So you're.
originally, so this is after they took it off the market. So again, this was no longer listed.
Okay,
So I came in when it wasn't listed, but I was interested in it. And because of what was going on with the whole market, I automatically made an offer.
and they took it.
Yes, and I put $10,000 down.
Okay.
Cash.
So you. It must be a nice place.
I was shopping around for about 4 or 5 months. So
Okay,
What's killing you is that's what you paid for it.
no, what's killing me is that I was overestimated last year, and then this year, I have a feeling I'm probably still over.
Well, you might be, but you still paid that for it. That's where
That's the
their,
point.
that's where their number's coming from.
Okay, again,
I'm not trying to argue. I'm just saying that's what's hurting you.
yeah, well, again, and then I look across the street and I have somebody that has twice the amount of square footage of a house that's not around about the same. And I thought that was part of paying property taxes, is everybody pays their fair share.
Some of that fair share is determined.
I'm not agreeing or disagreeing. I'm just
Yeah.
explaining that's why you're here
Yeah.
at 356.
Yeah. And I agree.
so here's what's gonna happen when they go through and do a reval. All your neighbors are gonna get raised up to your 356. Or more.
If that's the case, I don't know, but I mean, I'm not trying to make it wrong for anybody else.
No, you're not making it wrong. That's just the way the law is. That's state law. That's one of the issues in regards to buying a piece of property.
We have to take into consideration that your neighbor, we have to look at your neighbor's properties a little closer.
Well, I
Your point
mean,
about
their
them being
square footage
considered
alone
valid.
is more than mine. So I could see that theirs probably are more valued than mine, or that they are just being rated at the correct price. Because I mean, if somebody buys a $2 million house down the road, is everybody's house prices gonna go up?
Yep.
Okay. Well, that's not what happened.
That's the way it's supposed to work.
With that being said, I go back to the certificate of occupancy and the property itself. The property is still flooding, still has not been fixed by the swelling. So however it's been assessed, I don't think it should be assessed until the property is completed. So the
Who's-
property has not been completed, the bank has not signed off on the property, so it is still
Who's the builder?
Gerber.
Gerber.
Gerber's been out there 6 times to try to fix that swell. And the previous,
Swale.
Oh, the swale, okay.
to direct the water.
Yeah.
So this previous time, the water was going into now the lower parcel's property. So water was going towards their house. The swell is supposed to be 50 feet off the back of the house. That's part of the building specs.
Let me ask another question, just to be clear. So you do or you don't have a C of O for that property?
They just signed off on it
They just signed off. on
about
it.
a month ago, because I just found out that I have to pay sewage now, which I thought was with my water bill, but then I got a new bill and I said, what is this bill for? And they say, oh, well, they just signed off your certificate of
You've
occupancy.
been in the house or not?
I've been in the house, yeah,
For how long you been in the house?
for over a year.
And they just signed off the C of O on it?
Yep.
You have an argument with Gerber Homes,
I've had an argument with
It's-
Gerber Homes for
it's-
over 6 months.
and so does the town. But your assessment is not an argument with the town. Your assessment, well, I mean, in your eyes, you could have an argument, but your assessment is what you paid for it.
I guess you could say that, but then I guess I paid for a completed house that I paid for.
And that argument's with Gerber Homes.
But then
That's-
again,
that's
it
my
wasn't,
opinion.
yeah, I understand that, but then it wasn't completed because the entire lot wasn't completed. It still need to get the water away from the house. I mean, I would hate for that house to be flooded and they say, well, you know what, it's
Sure.
still
That's
still
your
rated.
problem.
But it was still under a certificate of occupancy because this stuff needed, so I'll go back to this. I have a contract with Gerber that said that this needed to be done back in March of last year. Okay. They said that it needed to be done within 3 months with all of these things done. When this was filled out last year, the driveway wasn't done, the air conditioning wasn't installed. There was a lot of things that hadn't been completed with the house, and I still got rated at a higher price
Is it,
without even some of the things that are completed at the house.
Is this a blow up of the two properties? Yours is this, and this is your neighbor?
Yep.
They're pretty similar.
Yes, they are. They very.
how- this is- I question a few things that passed the board or whatever, you know, but how did we get a C of O if all that's not done? How did that happen? I mean, if I was on your shoes,
After the builder.
I'd be going after somebody or questioning, not to be questioning somebody. Did you say the bank signed off on it?
This is a VA home loan, so the bank has to sign off to get the escrow. So I had escrow about $20,000 for them to complete the work that they didn't complete. And yes, the bank has been out there now 3 times and they failed the inspection 3 times.
Okay, so did you just say VA loan as in a Veterans Administration?
That is correct.
In other words, you were in the military.
Correct.
Okay, what branch of the service were you in by chance?
US Army.
Oh, good for you. Good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I think you got,
Yeah, somebody wasn't looking out for you,
Yeah.
whether it's
Somebody's-
the lender or your lawyer, or certainly the builder.
Your due diligence by somebody has not been done completely. That's unfortunate, that's for sure.
Well, and again,
Why
I,
can't we take them to the 86% utilization rate? No, it's at his purchase price.
Pam did an office appraisal on it. And the comparable estimate, so it was 386, that's really 3, so 86% of that is what you're being assessed at.
All right, did you apply for your veterans?
I have.
Yes, so your veterans has been applied to the tax on,
It will,
and your star benefit too?
Yeah.
All of that, so you've got all those.
Yeah. And again, I've not only reached out to the town, the coding officer, the town manager, I've even reached out to the town of Ontario about the CF certificate of occupancy. And I did send,
County of Ontario, county.
and I did send all of the videos and pictures to everyone of the flooding and the water issues between both of those properties as well. Multiple times.
Your neighbors are having the same problems or?
Oh, yes, they are.
They are.
Absolutely. Yes, they are. And I told them, please do not release that until we actually find out that it got completed. My lawyer has basically advised me that it has been past their contracted duty to finish it in a workman's-like manner. So the only other thing that I can do is go to either one of these 2 businesses that quoted me $10,000 to $6,500 to fix this flooding issue, and then go to the bank and tell them to take whatever's left in the escrow and put it towards my house.
can't you get Gerber to pay for it?
So Gerber is just going out and putting topsoil on it and just digging a little more, deeper into the back of the house to try to make the water go. But now we're starting to see that the flooding is going to be going into another neighbor's yard shortly.
Could
All right.
Chris Jensen do anything on this? Or is that not his?
I can't say.
How close is that to any watershed? That still isn't Canada.
This on the way forward?
Is this Canada watershed right here? It's gotta be.
Yeah.
This year's a ranch too.
It is a ranch. That is correct. I have my Encore if you want it.
John, your suggestion was cogent, I think.
Well, I
isn't it?
don't think it had logic behind it though. I think it's already there. but
By the
I'm looking
equalization
for
rate to
I'm
the
looking
purchase
for an
price.
excuse to take it down.
Wouldn't that be valid?
This is my house.
To me, what's valid is this house right next door looks pretty similar to me. No, maybe the house next door is too low, but they can figure that out next year.
What's the house next door? Is that for?
It just got completed.
Do,
The house next door is at 326. House next door is a ranch.
Oh, sorry.
The subject property is a ranch. House next door is 640 square feet. The subject property is 630 or 1,636 square feet. Both built in 2020. Both central air, both aluminum vinyl siding. The same house.
Well, we can consider all the information that you brought in,
I appreciate it.
and we'll be sending you a letter of our recommendation, our
Okay.
decision.
And again, I did send part 2 and part 3 of the application for the board. Has all of the pictures of the outside property of the flooding, so.
I don't know if this is accurate or not, but I'm guessing the house next door, they bought the lot and then they had the house built. And there wasn't a finished house. Public sale, no, not true.
No,
I'm
that's
wrong, or-
probably how. it is.
Oh, yeah. Because in
Gerber
this
bought-
town, they typically go to the sale price.
Gerber bought all the lots from Venezia.
Good.
Thanks for bringing in information.
All right, thank you, guys.
Before this next guy comes in,
Oh, it's okay.
oh, just a second, no, it's okay,
Okay,
good.
yeah.
thank you. Paul, help us out or help me out. The assessment is supposed to be based on market value, what they paid,
Doesn't necessarily.
modified by the equalization rate.
Right, well, yes, the assessment is modified by the equalization rate, but the assessment, the market value isn't always what they paid for it, because you don't know whether there is a very long list of things that throw out the sale price as being arm's length.
and
And that's one of the things an assessor has to do, is go through the contract and go through the sale price to make sure that it conforms to all those things. So if he said he paid 356.
And if you applied an equalization rate, it'd be about 306,000. Which would be closer to the guy next door that doesn't have the water problem.
Well, it sounds like the whole neighborhood has a water problem.
so
And you really cannot compare.
You can't.
You don't compare assessments you compare market value, you compare sale prices, because he was comparing assessments.
Yeah, it's bad to assume, but because these are all new houses, you'd think they would be assessed at what they paid for. That's a bad assumption, but it's,
it's a almost, it's a correct.
Well,
assumption.
you said you're not supposed to compare assessments. How's somebody gonna come in if they don't compare assessments on similar
I
properties?
mean, that's the whole game.
You have what an assessment is based on market value, not on similar assessments.
Okay, but if I'm coming in to agree my assessment. The
Prove to me
information.
what your market value is.
Okay, you make a point.
In regards, he's got legitimate complaints in regards to code, in regards to town, in regards to it doesn't belong in front of, what he brought up before the board also belongs in front of the town supervisor,
Mm,
okay? There's gotta be other issues with that development down there. And that's absolutely wrong for Gerber Homes to not take care of that, and I don't know how all of that's getting all put through in regards to this, and there's always two sides to every story, okay? So I need to be careful here, but listening to him from that side of the story, it belongs before
mhm.
somebody else.
I wasn't at all surprised to hear him say that the Veterans Administration had rejected this property, but I don't quite understand what happens then. If the VA, who has the lien on the property,
Right.
rejects it because it's not done up to their standards.
So who wrote,
Is he allowed to move in?
well, how'd the C of O happen if he's been there a year though, too?
Move in with the
if-
C of O.
What's that?
You can move in with a temporary C of
A
O.
temporary one? Okay.
Usually what's missing, if you don't have a final C of O, is driveway's not done, grass isn't growing, things like that.
Okay, let's table this.
Okay.
Are there perpetual problems on the cross
Have a seat.
And like trees,
coming
That's what you get when you
downhill
build
from
houses on
I'm not
hills.
sure.
You gotta build houses on hills.
Sir,
Excuse me, Christian Stedman Roberts.
okay, I'm gonna swear you in before you.
Okay, go for it.
Okay. Do you solemnly swear to or affirm that the information you're about to give will be given accurately and truthfully to the best of your ability?
I do.
Thank you.
your name again, sir?
Christian Stedman Roberts.
Roberts.
Svedman Roberts, SVEDE
Do you have any information on him?
MAN
Okay.
dash ROBERTS.
Do you have copies?
I can make copies. I can make copies of the 524 if you want.
I
Yeah.
do.
What's your address? What's the address? I can-
It's 3301 Hopkins Road.
How many copies do you have?
Sorry,
How many copies do you have
copies of what?
that you can share with us?
Your paperwork, we want to, we would like to make copies of
Okay,
what you
so.
brought.
this is a copy, this information. So this, if you could make a copy of my tax bill, and this is the form I filled out, and this is a copy of my buyer's closing statement from last year. This.
We don't need that, right?
Need this.
Yeah. this one. Thank you. Keep that.
Okay.
I know she's copying that. You wanna know?
She's better good.
Well, she's still,
Making copies.
yeah, she's making copies. I don't know if she's still on. Anyway, we'll start this gentleman and
System is new to me, so.
listen to his grievance.
3321 Hopkins. 3301. 3301.
Hopkins Road.
Yep. I'll wait till you guys are ready.
And you brought your
Zero.
assessment in and you're not happy with it.
Yeah, so we purchased this property. Does she need to be back before we start, or?
No, go ahead.
Sure. Okay, so we purchased the property, paid in full, no mortgage or anything last year. In the closing date was July 26th, 2021. And we paid 400 and total due at closing 460,000. The purchase price of the home was 465,000 on that date.
465 or 460?
465. I was just reading that. I misread. This is total due at closing. It says 460, 3420, but the total purchase price of the home was 465,000. That was in July, end of July. And our first tax bill was in October. And it was, we never had our own assessment done. It was assessed at over 500,000. So I was wondering how that happened.
What's the exact number?
Full market value, 510,526.
That's the current assessment on it.
Apparently, we never personally had any assessments done. I wasn't aware that this price would rise as much as it did. We haven't had any improvements done since we moved in. And this, keep in mind, this is 2 months after we moved in. How does the house price jump?
You're lucky, man.
50,000
Was it,
in 2
was
months.
it an arm's length sale and all that? You didn't buy it from your mother or something like that, or?
No, we paid cash for it.
No.
No, I didn't.
Who did
I
you
didn't
buy
ask
it
you
from?
how you paid for it. I asked you who was it?
The previous owner, Megan Milan.
Okay.
And that's not a relative or,
No, I have no connection with the individual.
How do you think, what's your thoughts about how it got raised so much? Do you know?
it's just.
I'd be curious to see what your thoughts are, because I didn't have anything to do with this, and I,
You know what the assessed value of it was when you purchased it? Was it that 510?
it was, no, it was 465 was the purchase price, and as far as I'm aware, that was what it was assessed at. According to the information given to us by the realtor.
We'll find out when she gets it up.
That is strange.
Because that was, to me, that actually, that wasn't disclosed to me on paper at here, at least at this time. So.
Don't look for it.
So before July, we're waiting to get that.
My main thought is like,
The
I
property was
haven't
probably assessed at
built
510
anything new
before
on
we
it
bought
since then. At all.
You didn't do any.
No, we
thing
purchased,
major
it was
in
vacant for
3
two,
months. Or-
it was vacant for 2 years before we bought it.
So that there's a house there and some acreage is that,
Yeah, and I included that on my, whatever the papers were.
She's making.
we don't have the papers yet, that's why. we're
Oh,
asking
gotcha, okay.
questions. There we
Yeah.
go.
All right, there's your original.
Yeah, there's some various out there, but we'll go for that.
Did you squawk when you got your bill last year?
Yeah, a little bit. I was like, this doesn't
Did you
seem
get anywhere?
quite right. No, I didn't.
So this says the property was assessed at 485.
This
Okay.
is the address. It's already there. I already put it there. That's it.
Oh.
And so for me, 485 is not necessarily out of the ballpark either, but that's as opposed to however this year is the 2022, but my issue is that how from when we purchased it to then, does it jump that much?
Well, that's not a correct statement though, but what the information here is this property's been appraised or assessed at 485 for the last 4 years
By whom or,
by the town assessor.
okay, we were
They
never
put
made
the
aware of
val-
that.
You don't do that. You get an appraisal.
But on what,
They
on
put
what
the-
conditions is
they-
it
They
appraised?
assess the property.
But how, I mean, in what way is it appraised? Does somebody
They,
have to come out and take a
their
look at it
estimate,
or
their estimate of the market value of the property. So you bought the
based
property
on what conditions,
based on what they think it's worth.
which are?
Just
what?
like when you bought it for 465, you bought it because you thought it was worth 465. You have a very legitimate request to lower it to the value that you paid for it.
Mhm.
But nobody raised it on you. It's always been assessed at 485,000.
And according to this, it now says 510.
Pass it around if you would. Because that's not what the record here says.
And this is as of this year. This is 2022, and now when it went up to 510, I was like, okay, this is
It's not assessed for,
full
it's
market value.
not,
market.
it's not assessed for 510.
That's
It
the
has a full market value of 510. You pay taxes on 485. See this? If you go back and do the math, right here, your full market value is 510. But your assessment's only for 485, which it's been for the past several years. Okay, no one raised this. This is what it's been assessed for, the 485.
Okay,
You
but
paid, so if you go over here, you add these together over here, it's based on 485,000, not the
Okay.
510.
We're
Well,
not,
you would be that
we're
as a
not
name.
trying to give you a
Right.
hard time. Your request of
Yeah.
having it assessed at
Well-
what you paid for it is reasonable, if you ask me.
And honestly, given the condition of the place when we bought it, 465, we paid it in full. Because we wanted to just get it. It was on the market for about 2 weeks. They had 2 other offers on it, and we wanted to just beat them out, so we paid cash for it. And that was probably the best thing we could do at the time. Would I pay 465 for it in a perfect world? No. Because given it was vacant for so long, some of the outbuildings are in not great condition. A lot of the wood out there in some of the outbuildings has pretty severe carpenter bee damage. The arena barn, we're gonna have to do probably $15,000 worth of electrical work out there because it is just in complete disrepair. There were water issues. The house has some structural issues. And yeah, those are basically my,
But your
Grounds to get away.
request of us, your neighbors, basically, is that we consider lowering you to 465.
Yep.
And I think that's a reasonable request, in spite of all the other stuff.
Yeah, you got other problems.
Did you come in to talk to the assessor on this?
I came into 2022 Grievance Day. That's what I came in to do.
Okay,
Meet with the board as a whole
okay,
about it.
all right.
So, I think I've got enough information here.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Is it in the,
Is this the horse farm there?
Yeah.
Okay.
And not to mention the fencing. Part of it's good. The fact that there's a river, if you'll see on some of the, actually, it was made very clear, I think in the 1874 map, there was a river that flowed basically right through that property. And that's why there's a low spot that goes right through the middle of the back pastures there. And
Right here.
yep, pretty much right there. Actually, a little bit farther, where that green, where it starts to get really green to the left,
Okay.
right there. Yep.
Mhm.
That was a river at one time, a long time ago. And the land, whenever it rains really heavily, that whole thing floods. Right across the
Has
middle.
it been tiled or something to collect the water? No.
It's just a low
tiles in
spot.
there?
so does that show on the next page? Does it show what this sale was? That it was 465? There's a page on there usually when you go
You gotta
to the
get the-
parcel details. Go to parcel details,
Yeah,
and at the end, when you
yeah, I
print
know.
out the front sheet,
I gotta get back here and get to the right thing.
Did you come in last year to grieve?
No, I didn't know. I was out of town.
they bought
He
it
bought it after.
after.
Oh,
Bought
because
it
I-
after.
He said he came in, but
But
he didn't come in to talk to us. I
I didn't move in until August 6th.
So at the bottom of that page, does it say,
No,
it doesn't say
No.
what?
no. Doesn't say about. Price.
The confusion over the 510 and the 485 is
That was,
because,
I think, a different, yeah. issue.
well, they're using 95% of value or 86% of value or something like that to get to the taxable value.
Yeah.
But I just learned that we can't talk about assessments. We have to prove market value. And I would say a sale in 21 at 465 proves market value for me.
I mean, market was hotter then than it is now, honestly, in some places, including that area, so.
Are you a
other
horse
than
guy?
that,
It was-
welcome to the neighborhood.
Thank you. Thank you, yeah. It's a beautiful spot.
Good.
It's
Any
good. We
more
got our work
questions?
cut out for us.
Do you have anything? Any more questions, gentlemen?
I'm good.
I'm fine.
Will you be receiving a letter from us
Okay.
with our decision?
All right, thank you very much for your time, and
Yeah.
I appreciate it,
Thank
and
you for coming in.
yeah, it's, I appreciate the town and all it has to offer, and looking forward to being here for a good long time.
Where'd you come from?
California originally,
Oh,
came from California through Kentucky for a year or two here.
What part of California?
I was from the Bay Area, just a bit south of San Francisco on the coast.
So, Dartmouth.
As you know, that's
So 465 for something.
Yeah.
A place is a real
Oh.
deal.
out there.
Yeah.
Can't
It's
find
a
that anywhere.
garage.
It's a garage, yep. Yeah.
Oh, it's-
My wife was in an apartment for a while out there, and it's a studio apartment. It was $5,200 a month in the city. It's insane.
You're
All
good.
right, thank you so much, guys.
Yep,
Thanks for
yep,
coming
thank
in.
you.
Thank you very much.
You got the key, Chad. CS attached, right?
I can lower it to 465. I'm not too concerned about that one.
Why did Pam boost it? Do we know?
It stayed the same. She didn't boost it. It
Just
stayed the
left it alone.
same.
Left it alone.
She left it alone.
He might, if he had a cash sale, he may got a little discount on the price or something.
It just rolled over. That one just rolled over, that's all.
That's kind of a rough place. That's a lot of money. for that place.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
But it's a steal coming from California.
Yeah.
That's a problem.
Right, all things, right, real estate's all
Oh,
local, right?
oh my God.
His name was put in here as the representative. I don't know, but-
He's not the title owner. Could,
I think it's,
could he represent the title
Oh,
owner?
sure he can, but there was no name were put in, who's representing the title owner is blank.
He didn't sign
He
it.
he should have written.
Kristen,
yes.
And this says it's Roberts.
Kristen Roberts.
That
Yeah.
been. I don't, know, I'm assuming there's some kind of a couple or something.
Yeah, that's right. She's got a different last name.
So, I guess I should have had him sign.
I don't know, but I'm okay with lowering it to 465. I don't know about the rest of you.
Makes sense.
Agreed.
Yeah, yes.
Well, my friend over there fixing next year when he gets angry with us. here.
Never happened.
We're gonna leave it the same, right?
Lower it.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Now, that other one that wants to sell his land for
465,
2,600 on
right.
Seneca Point Road,
You
I'd
have
be
to
That's
willing,
right.
write that one on there.
I'd be willing to buy that.
Pardon?
You have
Yeah.
to write that on the list.
Right, I'm very familiar with it because I live just to the east of it.
Oh, this one, yeah.
Where's their property on Risser Road for $2,600? I'm gonna go find that.
Yeah. Well, how about Seneca Point Road? I'd be
I
happy.
wanna
to
go
own
buy
some up
that.
there for that. I'll take 12
Can I
acres.
borrow,
on
can I
Seneca
borrow
Point
one
Road,
from you?
2,600.
No?
I don't think
Confirm that the right
anymore.
one.
It's on here.
Oh,
And-
it's got it on here.
There's a piece of that he'll have,
Even if there is no Lakeview, it's probably worth 3
well,
times.
in the
that.
fall, he'll have a lake view and when the field, the upper field above us is mowed. They and JR cut some trees down.
All, like Mark pointed out, all those other little properties that weren't on the road and weren't nearly as nice at 50, 60,000.
Well, that's it.
365. I don't know. I think you almost have to leave him alone to stay consistent. You'd have to leave his, but he's got issues that aren't, he has issues that aren't up to the Board of Assessment review or even the assessor.
Yeah, but what if we changed them down to what his neighbor's house is and it's wrong and they raised them back up in another year or two and everything's fixed?
That's right, you're retiring. So, you know, there's no repercussions.
I guess I'm being empathetic to his.
No,
point.
I feel for him.
I think we've got empathy, but it's hard to beat the fact he paid for it
You know,
a year ago,
The land value.
and it guaranteed he can sell it for more today.
We did take people down,
Well,
we did take
unless
assessments down.
this
though.
water issue is a real issue, but
He's-
those
he's-
other houses all.
He's
built in
still
there
got,
with
But
water.
everybody has to sign it.
Yeah.
We did.
A
take
ranch
people
house in that
down.
neighborhood for $350,000 doesn't seem out of the market to me,
Not like white out or something.
as much as I'd like to help them
No,
out.
but I don't have all that information, that's. the problem.
What information? The-
There was, if I remember right, we had a
Well, the land
lakefront
value
property
is-
that had a diversion ditch.
You're being funny. No.
No, he did.
No, he did.
I
He
know.
asked for
I
250,
know.
but he's assessed for 356.
Hey, what do you want to do, gentlemen?
No change for me.
Yeah, change.
Okay, yield.
For Bennett,
Yeah. Unfortunate.
I already made my notes. Yeah.
I don't think it's a bad number on that house probably. It's just, it does seem a little unfair compared to the others.
He's not the only one. with
They'll all
water
be
problems.
445 next year.
Yeah, he's not the only one with water problems.
So,
Well, you're sitting there, Mr. Paul.
Mhm.
Do me a favor. Can you put the land values down? I put the gross here.
Okay,
And on the Hopkins Road property, we're going to lower it to, we agreed to lower it to 465, is that right?
Bill, so you saying you can't read my writing?
No, I didn't say that. No, I put the wrong numbers down there. So,
And everybody was in agreement on the Hopkins, no change, no change, no
no
change.
change.
If he told me he paid cash one more time, I was gonna have to raise it.
Do you think he really meant that? That he actually had $465,000?
I know, that kind of made me,
I'm sure he paid for it. I'm sure he was telling you the truth that he just paid for it, but you know, he might have been a.
Yeah, but he
engineer
went to
for
the
Apple or
bank.
something. Who knows?
He went to the bank and the VA and, you know, he got,
No, no, that was Bennett.
The
We're
kid,
talking about the last
the
guy.
kid from
The
California.
guy from San
Oh.
Francisco.
He might have had a garage out there they sold for $1.5 million.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But he paid plenty for that place.
yeah,
Living the dream.
Yeah,
so Bennett is staying the same.
when he said 465.
That's where that Uyghur kid lived. That
Bennett
got-
staying the
that
same,
got run over when there
356.
was a robbery next door and got this terrible story. Got paralyzed. Nice kid, not a kid, he's probably 50 now. Was a well driller across the road. Well, it used to be Charlie Goss's place, but the guy bought Charlie Goss's business and somebody was breaking into the house or something. And the neighbor across the road, this Uyghur kid,
Those apartments there, or whatever.
yeah, came out to see what was going on and the guy tried to escape from the police and he ran over
They
with
said keep it the same.
his car and paralyzed him. He was the one running that horse farm. That was maybe 10 years ago.
Yeah.
67.5.
67.5 or 65.7.
I don't know, I got them both on here. I'll have to look it up. I don't know.
We didn't finish. Did we do gold investments?
Yeah, we weren't gonna do anything with
Yeah,
it.
no information.
You know, I think the only one we have left is Wide Waters.
why
Right.
not?
Was number 6.
3. Or
Tom was
6
the most
altogether.
recent one into school, so you give us the analysis of this cap rate on this rental income and come up with a value for us, and we'll go with your thinking.
Well, we have to ask the assessor what the cap rate's supposed to be.
Offhand, I don't.
You don't know? How are we supposed to make a decision? What's a good deal or a bad deal or return on capital or?
They didn't provide a P and L though, did they?
Wide Waters?
They showed us occupancy, but I,
Just rent rolls all, yeah.
Did he come in afterwards?
Who?
Yeah, you
Wide
know,
Waters?
philosophically,
Wide
I'm
Waters
not
we had at the
against taking them
beginning.
down to what they asked
Oh.
for, just because what do we do with this? I can guess that the plaza businesses or the commercial real estate.
Yeah, it's at 485.
It's
gotta be
Retail
something.
I don't have
business
the
is
land
tough, but
value.
we gotta have some.
I gave
base
you
it on,
the,
don't
I
we?
don't know, 1.2 million in rent is not bad.
Which
I gave you
one?
the printout
Which one?
from RPS.
Some expensive as that, but
gross
Uh,
rents, 1.2 million.
Oh, yeah, okay.
you're ready to you never paid for it, 7 years, right?
And it's staying the same.
No, they're lowering it to 465. It's Assessed for 485,
Taking them
Reliant
down
at 465.
You doing the numbers on Roseland?
Go ahead. You're 6%. Kind of the middle of the road number.
I don't know, at 10%, you know, it's worth more than it's assessed for.
Yeah.
Was there ever any guidance or anything from the state in regards to COVID? In regards to businesses that shut down during the COVID thing and that had lost business on tax end of it? No adjustment from the state? Nothing, okay. I mean, it's a, no, I mean, it's a
For
plan.
I gave it back to him.
This one here.
But 1.2 million is not the earnings, it has the revenue.
We got it, we're gonna have,
It's a gross rents.
unfortunately, he didn't sign the.
I don't know that, I don't have enough knowledge to know how to evaluate based on that.
Yeah, Lions Bank is included in this parcel.
Lions Bank, I thought when he did that,
Do we want
I
to, it's
could-
just simply his name, Steve, whatever. it was.
About right, isn't
Steve
it?
Roberts.
Yeah,
seriously,
it's
Unless
Steve
you want
Roberts.
me to.
under assessed.
No,
Sounds like his wife.
Both of these
Yeah.
buildings, the one on this end and.
We
the-
probably have to leave it alone. Let somebody with
okay,
a
yeah,
Steve-
Steve,
authority or whatever.
that we've been down the road before.
I think I
on
handed it
Lions
back to
Bank.
him. I wasn't even thinking.
At
The
a
original.
6%,
um,
it's worth 20
Do you
million.
want me to call him and have him
10%,
come in and sign?
it's worth 12.5.
His wife signed it.
Yeah,
or
and 10 is
something.
probably a more appropriate number.
Yeah.
Based
Well,
on the
I can
industry
put
and the risk.
her name,
well, no, his name's gotta go in there as a representative.
yeah.
Okay, and what can you build
And,
a strip mall
we need-
for?
So this is the file.
It's a big mall.
It's
a big-
it's almost 200,000 square feet.
Yeah.
Let's say,
Oh,
Do you need
yeah,
that?
what
Yeah,
can you build something
is
like
Like
the
a
that?
warehouse would be
there.
$25 a square foot, wouldn't it?
and,
More than that.
then of course you guys
I-
all
I
gotta sign all
figure
these.
minimum
and
of
you're gonna list all the names and
$100
sign
a
down there too.
square
Oh,
foot.
I'm thinking like pole barn type.
No, I'm talking a shopping plaza.
Yeah, okay. Oh, yeah.
Maybe
yeah,
At least
yeah.
150, I would think.
20 million to 30, that's 30 million.
It's 29 million, yeah.
I guess maybe we have to leave it at 7.2 or whatever.
Yeah, hey, there'd be no justification. It's unfortunate that he's got the vacancy level, but he's still getting a good return.
I think we gotta turn all these shopping malls into the next generation of schools.
Or elderly
We should never build
housing,
another
or,
school. Yeah, we should never build any of these things anymore. Just retrofit what we have. Think of the Teslas you could park out there in the lot and sell. If you could only charge them up.
Yeah, be enough electricity.
Send enough 10-year-olds down in the mines in the Congo to get cobalt and graphite and all the things we don't have.
so did they give us any justification as to why it should be knocked down to 6 million? They, like you say, they gave us the numbers on their rent, and they gave us the square footage. But based on,
Yeah, there's a stamp on here that says see rent roll, and that's the argument.
okay,
They've been here before and it looks a lot like copy and paste to me, but
with, we're just,
Same, same.
yeah, we didn't,
Well, this is interesting. They put a stamp down here that says the 21 assessment at 7.2 million. It indicates a fair market value of 7.5 million. So they must be using a capitalization rate of about like 80%. I'm okay with leaving it the way it is because I don't have enough knowledge to change it.
Unless our assessor can provide us any more
No, I don't have any
guidance.
either.
on wide waters,
Pardon?
on wide waters.
Yes.
Yeah.
That
No
would be-
change.
That would be my vote, no change.
It'd be interesting next year if the town, and I think they gotta invest in professional. It certainly make your job worlds easier, and it would give statistical justification. It's the guy paid $350 and a guy paid $365.
We need to-
We can't fight those.
Well, yeah, but on the other hand, if the town doesn't
That seven.
bear that cost,
That's a total of 7.2.
It'll be a nightmare.
no,
You forgot a
Oh.
zero.
because these companies just go on to some circuit court judge somewhere for a decision.
Yeah,
And we don't have to justify a $100,000 salary.
You said White Waters was.
Yeah, and you guys all agreed right on white waters.
Yes, we did.
Keep it the same.
What do we need to do with this?
We are an
Yeah, that's-
agreeable group.
That goes back to
Yeah,
Paul.
that comes back here.
That's the word just file.
Thank you. These are the stipulations. I will pass them around and explain what happened on them. And, eventually, hopefully, you'll sign off on it. The first one here is, we're all here, right? Yes. The first one is from National Fuel. There was some confusion with the tentative role, and this is a special property. It's a special franchise property. There was an error in the state roll, and Donna LaPlante, the county director of real property tax services, had a meeting with, on the phone with this Margaret Wagner woman, and they came to an agreement that the 519,944 was wrong, and that it should be that. So I signed it, it was notarized, and I sent around, everyone would like to look at it.
Where is this? that it matters much,
Well, off the top of my head, I don't know. It's a National Fuel Special Franchise property.
Is there another tax, is there a tax map number,
but parcel it says 824-00 5-801.550.
854,
824 5-801.550/200.
what was the last numbers?
Slash.
I have 824, I'm sorry, 824-5,
-801.
okay.
.550/200.
I don't know.
No. I don't know, is the address on the gray Arbus sheet? No, it's not there. Doesn't look there. There, okay.
Up in the top left corner, there should be the tax map number. All the way up. At the,
Yeah, 824
mhm.
dot 00
Dash
dash
five.
5-801.550/200B.
Oh, there was a D after?
Yeah,
Oh,
Next, yeah. Sorry,
was there an address on that same page?
this should be right below
Right below
where
it
the
says
tax
the
map
owner.
number was.
Yeah.
Ontario County IDA pipeline.
Use the pipeline. It's over wide by 50 miles.
Right.
It's everywhere.
Just gives that same parcel number. I'm just curious to see where,
Yeah, all it shows is, it doesn't show the, all it shows is the address of the owner.
Oh.
Okay, how is something like that taxed? Pipes in a right of way somewhere.
Mhm.
It's fully exempt. It's a special franchise.
So the change was just a change. There's a value, but they're not gonna be taxed on it. That's weird.
Oh, she got this, Miss Wagner got quite. Stuff up.
Really?
Yeah. Donna said that they had, after their first conversation, Miss Wagner hung up the phone very, very upset.
Really?
That they weren't, that the value of the property was being overstated. She didn't like that. So Donna did a lot of more, Donna said that the phone conversation was 2 hours long itself. And then she did more research on it after she hung up with Miss Wagner. And finally came to the realization that, yeah, it looks like the state goofed on the value. And she changed it, and she called back Miss Wagner and said, okay, fine, we're willing to change the value on the records.
So went to 395,000 and change. Instead of 519,000 and change.
Hmm.
And they've agreed to it.
Yeah.
And what basis would we have to
None.
question that? I mean,
Agreed.
how would he even come up with a
Value
value?
was really done by
Right.
Yeah, Donna will plan, it was her negotiations with National Fuel.
We just getting it because it runs for part of our county, or part of our town.
Yeah.
There's a whole bunch of gas line that's up on the north end of town.
Yeah, across 20 road.
Of course, I don't know. These are the ones we're talking about.
Well, there's oil lines, there's gas lines, and there's all kinds of things that cross north of here. A natural gas line too. 2 foot,
That's all?
yeah, 2 foot in diameter.
Oh, I thought you meant 2 foot down.
No, it's 6 foot down.
It was, when I was a kid, there was a helicopter that would run the line.
Mhm.
I don't know, for leaks or something like that.
Yeah, typically if there's a leak, it'll burn all the
Who has to
vegetation
sign
around
this?
it just because it's.
I think,
Or just on
natural
that
gas,
sheet.
just burns the
Yeah.
vegetation.
Mhm.
okay, the second one here is a gentleman who was trying to tell me that the increase in his property was due to our overvaluing a dock he was building into the lake. And after doing some extensive research on it and finding out that it actually was the fact that his house wasn't completely built when he got his partial C of O. And if you take the percentage that our building inspector said that it was finished when he did the inspection and multiplied that accordingly, well, the email that I sent back to this gentleman offering him what I offered him, 1,500,000, he wanted it to go down to 1,265. And he accepted it. He accepted the email that I sent to him. If you want to see my reasoning, is in back of the stipulated agreement.
What's his house number?
3459 Lakeview Lane. He was very insistent during the informal review that the error was because we were charging too much for his dock. And sorry, Mr. Lupton, it wasn't because of your dock.
You just put the full value on the house when it was completed.
Yeah.
Well, he paid 1.5 million and tore down the house.
You what?
He paid 1.5 million for the property and tore down the house that was there. And rebuilt.
So he's getting quite a good deal.
Yeah. He probably didn't want to take you on a tour inside the house or anything.
No, he didn't offer.
You know?
What's this guy's name?
Lupton.
Yeah, I know the parcel.
He has to build an extra long dock because where he bought that property is very shallow until you get out like 90 feet or something.
But that's been that way forever.
I know.
It's like a little bit north of the.
Oh, this has got a
It
long.
was deeper than
Yeah,
2.5.
well, just north of the yacht club.
Yeah.
But before, it's adjacent to the 2 monster homes that they're building.
These 2 parcels here are getting like
With the green
16,000
siding.
square foot houses put on them.
You can't really see much of that house from the
Actually,
road.
this one here is gonna be 10,000 square feet. This one's a 16,000 square feet.
They were.
They used to be the Cook
They were-
property.
Huh?
They used to be owned by Tech Cook.
Of course.
It's owned by the
The Cooks, yeah.
Of course.
I mean, the cooks from Bristol that knocked down the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh?
Wait, are we recording?
I think you guys ought to just make it over.
Yeah. It's so funny the difference.
Simplify things for the rest of us.
How much we're keeping like 900 square foot cottages, usable, and 16,000 would be project.
Another one too that I took, it was right when Paul started, was a up on Hillcrest. Starts for 725 or 750 something, sold for 1.8 million.
People have had a lot of liquidity lately. That might change.
Hillcrest isn't even a public road. It's a private drive.
You do have to sign off
On that paper or just
on these, on the one that like Phyllis has got there. I believe the stipulated agreement has to be.
I think Phil signs for all of us.
on the back. I guess you have to take a vote and say whether you agree or not on that one, man, leave next week.
So moved.
Second,
All right.
Yay.
yeah.
so we have them come in and finish it. now.
There's our board of assessment review. That portion on the bottom.
Okay. We all concur.
Yes.
What is it?
What is the final one?
Would say what they decided on, you mean?
Yeah,
1.5 million.
this one here.
Oh, this is what it's assessed. That's his actual assessment. He asked for 1265 or 1.265. They agreed on 15 or 1.5 million.
1 point.
Let me fill it out.
There.
Tentative assessment.
The third one here was just simply a case of the gentleman was disputing his assessment. I pulled comps, did the math on it. He wanted his assessment reduced from 233.8 to 200. And he, after I did the comps, he agreed to 226.3. Not much for a reduction, but he took it anyway.
What's the name?
McKellar,
McKellar.
Emerson Road.
Guess you don't have to sign it. It's unequal assessment. So it was 1.5, 1,800.
I gotta see.
Put it to one.
What is it, $220,000?
You don't have to sign it. I thought you had to sign it.
I was gonna say that change it.
Is that picture any good of the subject?
Do you want me to bring it up on here?
No, I'm being kind of a wise guy, but I would like to. Really quick.
Is there a photo in there?
Well, just right here,
Just that.
doesn't show you too much.
No.
What's the address?
5205 Emerson Road.
1,600 square foot ranch built in the 1980s. Scroll left. There's Emerson.
Yeah, it's not, Showing up. Oh, here it is, purple. Right there.
Oh, it's back on the little travel part of Emerson Road now. Not over by that gun club?
The gun club's right here.
Yeah.
It's like a big lot. Yeah. It's a 3 or 4.
Anyways, I agree.
Agreed. I'll concur.
Okay. Oh, what was the contention there? It's just over.
He thought it was too high. He thought the assessment was too high. He didn't really come in with anything but to be a nice guy. I said, okay, fine, I'll pull comps. I went over the comps, I did the math, and I made that offer, and he said, all right. $8,000 difference or something like
See,
that.
it's just like being a circuit court judge here, too.
I would think that living near the gun club would be a negative as far as market value. Is there much shooting there anymore? Weekends?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Sporting clays and.
Oh, yeah.
In the rifle range.
Oh, yeah. I've been there in years.
Wednesdays and Sundays, right? Wednesdays and Saturdays.
Yes, there's lots of noise
19 acres. It's nice.
What is the story behind the Oriana?
It's like.
Oh, really?
Oh, no.
Most of them caught in fire before they got the neighbors at some point.
It's got a pole barn that's bigger than his house.
Really?
The whole idea of building a fire on a wooden boat just makes sense to me.
You got a lot of comparables on something like that.
Do we agree?
there. Yes.
Yep. Sign away.
Okay, the last one here is a Mr. Gray on Split Rock Road. Oh, no, I'm sorry, that's his mailing address. Island Beach Drive. The 2021 assessed value was based on a temporary COO indicating the property was 95% complete according to our building department. The 2022 assessed value actually raised the temporary assessment by 12%. So to mollify the guy, I said, okay, fine. Instead of the 12% increase, I'll just raise it 5%, which is what the 95, the building department said it was 95% complete in 21, so I'll just raise it 5% in 22 instead of the 12%. So instead of it going from 750 to 850, we raised it to 787,500.
The number for the.
The address is 4959 Island Beach Drive. Great.
Is that the one north of Adams? Where the hell that is.
This is Water's Edge. That's his.
What's the next driveway up or whatever?
North
Yeah, what's that?
Walnut Cove
Okay. Yeah. Real shallow. in there.
Station House.
Yeah, okay. That's real close to where Wurgis,
Yeah,
Built-
because we're
built their
just right
house.
down here.
you know,
Water's Edge, I think right here is this house.
Yeah.
No, far off.
somewhere close by there.
Pittsford.
All right. That's the Burgess house.
A lot of real small lots.
Yeah, there was in here about the Seneca Point Road. How, Seneca Point Road property, that's where he lives. Water's Edge.
Yeah, he sold his house on the old Westlake Road, built there.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks.
What'd you say he was, the Finger Lakes coffee roaster guy?
Yeah, he owns it.
Yeah. He supplies restaurants. He's got a Strong Memorial, if you've ever gone in there. He runs that, and I think he's got another one. I can't tell you where. Pittsburgh.
Is there an airport?
Could be.
There is.
I haven't been to
I
the
think
airport.
one
in a long time.
of the car dealers up on.
He must
West
just rent a
End
little
Road
spot or
had-
something.
Oh, maybe that's a Starbucks. I could be-
I assume he rents a little spot or something like that,
Yeah, some kind of arrangement with whoever owns.
like a little kiosk or something. There's a couple of them in the
But
hospital.
he also delivers to restaurants. I've seen him like
Oh.
at Ray's, he'll bring in coffee for the, bulk coffee.
Was waiting for my wife one night a few years ago in Eastview Mall. And I sat down by the Starbucks kiosk right there in the middle, and I counted. And I can't remember what the count was now, but the line was like 40 deep.
Uh,
The whole time, I was there for like 45 minutes.
to
Yeah,
buy
I'm thinking,
$6 coffees.
I mean, everybody's spending $5, $6, $7 there, and I thought, that's gotta be the most profitable real estate in this entire mall, right there, I mean. 'Cause they were generating some real dollars per hour there, I'm telling you, for nothing but coffee beans and water.
It looks like they're spending some real money to renovate that one down Parkway Plaza. It closed for quite a while.
Yeah.
I
know it's a lot of bad people.
As far as coffee.
These are the properties you're gonna have a hell of a time with in Revale.
Tim Hortons is what
I mean, I
The
got
lake-
Tim Hortons
The lake property?
way too often.
Yeah.
It's good coffee.
The 400,000 on the land is gotta be doubled, and that's still probably not enough, unfortunately. They're all gonna squawk.
But the thing about that is if they turn around and sell that,
Mhm.
okay, and they sell it for twice what it's assessed for. I mean, that I don't understand why the thinking is that the value isn't there in the property. They wouldn't sell it for anything less than.
Oh, absolutely. Well, that's the acid test. What would you sell it for?
Yeah.
It doesn't hurt them as long as everybody goes up fairly.
Right.
Correct.
I mean, the issue is how much money they spend here at the town government, not what your, assessment is.
Right, what's?
I'm not complaining about the spending. I'm saying that's where you really should focus your.
Well, the school is the one that's the biggest.
Well, okay, whatever this,
That's $22.
whatever the spending is, that's the important thing.
And I challenge anybody short of a CPA to really dissect the school budget and tell me where the waste is. I mean, there's so many mandates, and again, I have no idea, but people bitch about school taxes, but how much of us really know anything about?
I mean,
What's good or
folks in
bad?
your neighborhood carry a lot of tax burden. I'll be the first one to admit that, but you know, there's also a lot of value in being there too.
Oh, yeah.
We do have some empathy for the people that like have been there 80 years and really can't afford to be there anymore, but they're still there.
Yeah, that's sad. Yeah.
But they can get whole. Now, people don't want to hear that. They don't want to have
Your
to
name
move.
and
I
all the other
understand
members'
that.
names here, and then you sign on the bottom. Sign on the
Okay.
date, okay.
They don't have to sign?
No, just you.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not asking for their signatures. Just their names. Oh, really, since the sign is one too.
Motion, sign it yet?
So sign that one. Name, your signature, the date.
I signed up here.
Oh. Oh, yeah, chairperson, that's right. Where are we? Who are we missing?
Scott.
Oh.
But he,
Oh, because he recused himself.
yeah,
Were you gonna put a note there on that?
put a note up there.
You put a note up there, okay.
So I can sign this one then?
This one, the stipulations.
No, the one from before. I didn't sign that before because you were talking about doing a
Yeah,
separate
he can
form.
sign, yeah, he should sign it. Except he's
Because of your
recusing
property.
himself
Except that he's
from
recusing
those.
himself.
Yeah, so he should still sign.
Okay, you're right.
Makes sense?
Yes. I think so for a second.
You all have short names, that makes it easy.
Phyllis, is it, are these supposed, is everyone supposed to sign that one too? Can you tell from looking at the form?
I think I had them sign last year.
Okay, then I guess you better circulate it back around again for signatures.
So this is like the calm before the storm. You'll all these guys out next
Okay.
year
Oh,
ahead of time.
kept me.
Yep.
from
I
making-
did.
I was surprised.
No, that's what I always encourage them to do that.
We were just gonna print them, but then.
You mean
It's
to
just
come
so
in
much
ahead of
easier.
time?
Yeah, it's just so much easier to get it done that way.
It's probably done more accurately too. Oops.
Well, like the other ones, if they don't turn in any, background information, you can't do anything. But like you said,
Well,
they
if
do
you're-
this so they can go to court.
If you're serious about it, I think you come in ahead of time, because then you can sit down.
Yeah.
and Discuss it.
Yes.
If you walk in here and turn in your paperwork when you walk through the door, it's really hard for us to even get.
Yeah,
our
that
arms
guy
around it.
that came in from Hickox Road. I hadn't heard from him.
When we have a lot, we used to give them X amount of time and that was it.
Yeah,
15 minutes.
Yeah.
If you know they're coming in.
Huh?
If you know they're coming in. You said it.
They have to line up.
Did you set a timer?
First come, first serve.
Oh, she's tough, boy. Okay. We'll let you know.
well, these all have to be marked off too, Phyllis, the stipulation. That they all concurred or if someone. voted
Yeah, but
against
there's
it.
no signature needed, so we can just do that, right?
He's got the signatures, right?
Yeah, I think this is the only thing I ever
Yeah.
remember signing.
Yeah, okay. And what about these? Are these all signed? Do you know, are the
What?
524 is all signed?
Once we did all these here.
This is like.
When they turn them in?
Well, doesn't the bar have to sign one of the 524s?
Phyllis was signing them as she was.
Yeah.
Oh,
Can I see one of them? Just to-
Okay, they're all
Look
over
at it.
there then? Okay.
No, no, no,
These
no,
are
no.
mine.
These are her copies.
Yeah, I think I signed what, if I remember, I signed one.
It's the same thing.
I'll concur. Okay,
Yeah.
and so no signature
No
necessary?
Right.
Okay.
Signed them. You're right.
There's no signature. I don't know
Yeah,
what you might have
I have
signed.
to look. at-
Okay, do we have, those are your copies?
Well, we'll have to have her
So-
come back in, sign them. She's got it.
Yeah, I just looked down.
You
the
don't
street.
mind coming in, do you? See?
See anybody.
Well, I'll sort it out tomorrow. and then-
So on the, yeah, what I did was I would check.
Yeah, but there's no signature needed on that
Okay,
one. I don't know what it
there's no
is.
524 in wide waters. What about minutes?
But if we all
Yeah,
concur,
they're all in there. I had copies for everybody. The only one we don't have the original is the Cox Road guy.
Okay, Bennett didn't sign his. But he has to sign that he's submitting
He
it.
signed it electronically. I know. That's the way we're headed.
I think what I remember doing is, I would put the reason, that we checked here, all concur. And filled in the amounts and, but it's already done, you know. But
Yeah,
I can come in,
well, I can do it too tomorrow.
yeah,
If we need to have your signature, I'll definitely call you.
Reach down that.
I think I'm gonna go through
That was
every single one and make sure we have all the paperwork together and all signatures.
Figure out
Because
just something you can pull yourself back up with.
Look, I did it again.
Paul's in
It's
Farmington
not-
tomorrow,
it's
because they
not
have
get-
their
it's not
Grievance
getting done,
day
it's getting back up again.
tomorrow,
Yeah, right.
so.
Maybe I should do that.
He'll be back Thursday. So I'll go through them tomorrow and have them check it on Thursday, make sure I have everything.
it's an inkwell.
Well, actually, it's for the cord.
Do you remember desks with inkwells?
I do. Fortunately, never had the ink in them.
No, no. There was a girl sitting in front of me with a long pigtail.
I used to be a nut about good pens when I was in high school. And I was the only kid who came to the final exams with an ink quill and a fountain pen.
Really?
What the heck are you doing?
Big Bang Theory is probably on.
I'll call my husband to go pick me up. There's no one up there.
Why don't I
This
give
guy
you,
is that phone.
Phil, why don't I give you a ride?
Give me a ride.
Well, both hands are on the 8th, doesn't that mean you?
Okay.
Jeopardy's.
Well, I'll call him back.
You're on Butler Road, right?
Rifles,
Whitefield's Road, easy.
one over.
Yep.
Does that phone work?
Yes.
Yeah, I use it.
No. Okay.
I didn't bring myself.
I'm kidding.
We can let you use the phone.
No, you can use that phone. You just dial out. You don't have to do 9 or anything ahead of
Okay,
time.
That's part of the museum over there. They keep it in the corner.
right.
It's a whole brand new system. Just
I was surprised when I called you
Still
today.
being recorded.
Yeah, they need too much work is what it amounts to.
Gentlemen, it's almost 8 o'clock. I'd like to close the Board of Assessment review for this year, 1922.
19, 20,
Seems like
22.
that. May
Everybody
24,
concurs?
2022.
I'll second that.
Mhm.